back, Superintendent of Fauquier County Public Schools, with another edition of One Hard Question. Before I answer this week's question, I want to mention something about previous questions. I received several questions about weather and about decisions relative to bank time and makeup days, etc. And why are we doing that? Why aren't we doing this other thing? So Karen Parkinson and I put together a frequently asked questions document. It's on the website, left-hand column. It appears as a press release. Check it out. I think it gets to most questions, but the real short answer to a lot of the questions I received is this: there is no perfect solution. Whichever solution we landed on, came up with for this makeup time and trying to make up for lost instruction, is there. It's imperfect. Every school division in the state's dealing with this. Every single one, and everyone's dealing with it differently. Some are adding time at the beginning of the day, some at the end. Some are relying exclusively on bank time. Loudoun County is an example of that. Some are doing Saturday school. Virginia Beach is doing that. Some are adding days to the end of the school year. Many school divisions are doing that. Some are taking away from spring break. We tried to pick the thing that was least disruptive and seemed to make the most sense in terms of adding instructional time back before the end of the school year. So that's the answer, the very short answer. But there is no perfect solution, and our current calendar doesn't include information about if you miss this many days, this happens, and if you miss this many days, that happens. We don't do that, but we've missed so many days this year that's turned out to be a bit of a flaw within our calendar. So we're looking at that, making adjustments to next year's calendar so that people have more frequent updates. This week's question comes from Megan K, and it's about budget. It says the school board and superintendent are required to submit a needs-based budget. What exactly does that mean? How do you determine needs, and what do you see as our greatest need? Thank you, Megan. Okay, first of all, yes, we're required by the Code of Virginia to submit a needs-based budget. I submit that to the school board. They approved it last week. Our request includes a request for 5.1 million additional local dollars, and most of that money is tied up into the increase on the Virginia retirement system, health, medical insurance benefits increase, and then we had to factor in the fact that we lost, I don't know, 1.4 million, I believe, in state funding because of our local composite index change. So I feel like what I submitted was a needs-based budget with an asterisk, and the asterisk meaning I think I really submitted a what will it take to get us by, and what's a reasonable request in light of what's going on locally with the local economy. So that's what I did. And if you look at those requests within that 5.1 million, I received over 60 requests for different additional positions. That's from principals and senior staff. And we netted out, I included a net increase of 5 positions total in my budget. The budget also includes a 2.1% average increase for this year, and then in next year's budget and the year after budget. It has some staffing positions that are required just to meet state requirements. ESL staffing is extremely low, and our ESL population is exploding. Computer technology positions, this is, we're required to have 1 technician for every 600 machines. We have 1 for every 1,000 machines. That's a need. And then another category, these are needs that aren't necessarily state mandated, but they're extremely important, like buses. We have a request for different additional buses, a dispatcher. I'm requesting the addition of the gifted and talented supervisor's position to meet those needs. And then the additional compensation, I think, is a need to make us ensure that we're more competitive locally with some of our neighbors, and we're able to retain teachers, quality teachers. So needs-based to me is you're meeting your requirements and you're moving your school division forward. And that seems to be tougher and tougher to do these days with budgets, although local budget situation and the state budget situation are improving somewhat. What do I see as our greatest need? Our greatest need, generally speaking, is to continue to move the school division forward by meeting not only our requirements, but those things that are best for students. That moves us forward. And as I said, that is difficult to do, but we're going to do it. So stay tuned. We'll see how things pan out with the budget. There's a hearing on March 25th at Fauquier High School at 7 p.m. That's the Board of Supervisors hearing. If you're interested in attending that and speaking on behalf of the school board and my budget request, that would be, of course, be greatly appreciated. And I'm not sure. I think One Hard Question probably is going to wrap up sometime in May, and middle to end of May. And then we'll pick up again next fall. So you still have time to get questions in, but not a whole lot of time. So anyway, hope this answers your question, Megan, and hope everyone has a good day.